Now, in order to determine if you need oval chainrings, we must first see how they work. Now, the pedal stroke can be broken up into 4 areas: the 1 to 4 o'clock position, 4 to 7, 7 to 10, and 10 to 1 o'clock position. Now, because you have 2 legs, well, hopefully, we will be ignoring the 7 to 10 o'clock position, as that's where your other leg takes over. So that leaves us with the 1 to 4 o'clock, 4 to 7, and the 10 to 1 o'clock position. Now, due to cycling biomechanics, the strongest part of the pedal stroke is actually the 3 to 4 o'clock position. That's why track cyclists start like this. So because we aren't equally as strong throughout the pedal stroke, that's where the oval chainring comes in. As we all know, the bigger the chainring, the harder it is to pedal. So how the oval chainring works is that it is smaller where you're weaker, i.e. the 4 to 7 o'clock and the 10 to 1 o'clock position, and larger where you're stronger, like the 4 to 7 o'clock and the 10 to 7 o'clock position. Now that you know how they work, let's move on to the benefits of ovals. First things first, comfort. Have you ever ridden 100 kilometers and at the last few kilometers it kind of feels like you're pedaling in squares? Oh yeah, me too, unfortunately. Until I switched to ovals and my pedal strokes right from the start all the way to the end of my ride feel exactly the same. I also noticed that accelerating is much easier. When I do sprint training before I kick off and stand up, I accelerate from 30 to 45 kilometers an hour. On my round chainrings, this was insanely hard and I felt like I was burning up too much energy on getting up to speed. Now with ovals, the acceleration feels so effortless. It kind of feels like having an electric motor at the back of your bike, but in reality it makes jack shit of a difference, but if it feels good, it is good. Unfortunately, oval chainrings aren't all sunshine and rainbows. Just like all things in life, they have downsides, mainly cost. Oval chainrings are ridiculously expensive. Rotor Q rings, €209. Okay. Ooh, look, here's one that only costs €40. What a bargain! Alright, maybe they aren't so expensive. Let's see what chainring sizes they offer. Now you might be like, oh, that's so biased, you picked the most expensive brand. Well, okay then, let's go to Absolute Black then. Maybe they'll be cheaper than Rotor, eh? Let's see. Now if you're smart, like me, you would have gone onto AliExpress and bought yourself some oval chainrings. But AliExpress is garbage, you know. The chainring is made out of aluminum foil and the durability, it will last like 6 miles. No. First of all, they are not made of aluminum foil. Secondly, claiming that they will last 6 miles, that is ridiculous, because mine lasted 5. Now that you know how oval chainrings work, the pros and the cons, just who needs oval chainrings? Now in terms of needs, I think that it best suits people with injuries or discomfort while pedaling. Example, you have knee pain. Oval chainrings can help lessen the stress on the joints at the weaker part of the pedal stroke. There are tons of people out there that say that oval chainrings have helped with their knee pain. Another reason is if you're very quad dominant. For example, me. At the 6 o'clock position, you're mostly using your hamstrings and your calves to scrape the pedal along. So quad dominant people will be extremely strong on the down movement and weak on the scraping movement. Oval chainrings will help make that scraping movement slightly easier. Oh, one thing to note, oval chainrings actually feel harder than round chainrings. For example, the diameter of a 53-tooth chainring is about 250mm. On my oval chainring, however, despite being a 50-tooth chainring, it feels exactly like a 53, as at its largest, it's actually 215mm. But anyways, that's all for today's video. If you have learned something from this video, or at least have been entertained, feel free to drop a like and a subscribe, it helps the channel. But as always, I will see you guys next time. Good night everybody.